Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and watching videos of me speaking about my experiences. So you know what I thought you guys would like? I'm going to talk about that time I ordered a haunted fairy doll from Etsy. So I do not have the doll anymore because the story is gonna go left. But yeah, so I ordered this doll. I'm gonna see if I can insert pictures of the doll in the video. I'm gonna see if I know how to do that. So if not, then I'm gonna put her picture in the title of the video for sure. So I seen this listing. Okay, so it was in a time where I was like, oh my gosh, I need some magic in my life. This was before I had my awakening. But I did believe in like spirits and stuff, right? So I seen like fairy. I was like reading up about fairies and like YouTubing fairies and stuff. And then I came across this listing for like haunted stuff on Etsy because I'm like I love haunted stuff, by the way. Like not like stuff, but just like the movies and stuff. Like I'm into it. I'm into the gore. Well, it was. So I seen this listing, Dora the Haunted Fairy Doll. Dora the wingless fairy. She didn't have wings. She was born without wings, and they said that she was an outcast because um it said she was an outcast because I guess she was born like that and the fairies didn't like that or made fun of her and stuff like that. So I loved that because I was like, man, like I don't have friends either. So I'm like, Dora, we can be friends. Hey. So I was like, let me I'm like, let me get this doll. Let me get this doll. Right? So then I got the doll, and when she came in the mail, I got this eerie feeling from her, like super creepy. And I was like, okay. So I messaged her, the lady. Actually, I think I messaged her before the doll came, just to make sure she was good with kids. But I messaged the lady again because I was like, the feeling I get from this doll is kind of creepy. So I was like, what's going on with this doll? And she's like, oh, she's great with kids. She's very loving. And she gave me some spirit lights. And she's like, she'll light up the lights for you if you talk to her. And I was like, okay, sure. I'll give it a go. So for the longest time, I didn't know if she worked or not because I didn't know how to work the spirit lights. I didn't know that I had to put the battery in it. So it was a whole thing. But like I kept her first I kept her in my um first I kept her in my bathroom and then I kept her in like the living room. But I noticed when I put her in the living room, like the lights would start to flicker heavily. So I took her out of the living room because I think it was starting to creep out the people I was living with. Like I was living with like my ex at the time, and my younger brother came over, and yeah, they were pretty creeped out. So I took her back into the room, and when we figured out how to work the lights, we'd ask her questions. She only made it light up for us like once. So we're still kind of skeptical, right? Guys, but this is the part that is just like absolutely crazy. So I, um, okay, so I was like, let me do shrooms for the first time. Well, I did it a few times and nothing happened, right? So then I did it this one time and I heard like, yo, I don't know if this happens. But I swear, I heard like someone was talking to me, like a fairy was talking to me, and the fairy's like, they took my wings and sent me here because I was bad, and this is my punishment. I was like, what the fuck? Yo, like, I thought I was tripping out. And I was wondering, like, but it took me a while to start to wonder if that was Dora talking to me still. But it took me a while to get there because that whole time, that was a funny experience. But it's like, yeah, that was a funny experience for me. Oh, and then it's so funny because like when it comes to me and shrooms, I'm just like, man, I can't do it now. I have to take it seriously. So it's like I never really do it often, but man, that one time was like super super interesting. But yeah. What was I saying? Like I didn't really I used to talk to her about my problems. I used to like try to like anytime I wanted to cry, I used to cry to her, right? And then, so there's this whole thing going around with the eclipse, and then, like, you heard the little rumors, because, like, they said The Simpsons said that the rapture is coming or whatever, right? So I got scared, and I was like, oh, maybe I am crazy. Maybe Jesus is coming for his people. So then I got rid of Dora. And it was such a crazy way, too. I made my son drop her off in the forest. My oldest son. But my oldest son is super spiritual, like just like how I am, like he has visions and he can see stuff and stuff. And he was like, "Are you sure?" But he didn't really like Dora like that. But for the other stuff I was getting rid of, he was like, "Are you sure, Mom? Are you sure?" And I was like, "I'm so confused." But now when I look back at that, I'm like, I don't know why. But I will say that when I got into tarot card, okay, no. Like, so I started doing use my intuition and stuff, right? And I started to get like this really eerie feelings from it all, like really, really eerie feelings. But then I was like, ugh, I don't know if I was tripping or not, right? So then I was doing the tarot cards, right? And then I asked the tarot, I'm like, was she a real fairy? And it's like, no. I asked twice, and twice it said no. The doll, what they said the doll was haunted, but it was not by a fairy. It was, I guess, by some kind of other being that's not a demon. Like, and so I was like, is any of the things, the entities that she sells in her store fairies? And they said no. And I guess it's not even really possible to do that, right? Oh my gosh. So then people are here spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars for these haunted objects, and you don't really know what the object is haunted by. Yikes. That was me. Because now when I look back at it, I'm like, I also had like this haunted ring. But you know what? Who knows? Maybe those things triggered my awakening. Like, I don't know. Because I had all of them at the same time, and I got rid of them all at the same time. You know what I mean? It must have been multiple things at the same time, but it was a super cool experience. Though I never really had anything weird happen other than the fact that the lights would flicker when she was in the living room. And I think that was the only thing that I could remember. Oh, and then when we were questioning her and she made the light go off that one time. And in the middle of the night, I'd always see the light go off. Always. She always made it go off around like 2 o'clock in the morning. But when you tried to like have a conversation with her as she made the light go off, nothing, like she wouldn't put it back on or anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think maybe now if I was to try it would be different because now I'm in a different headspace. Yeah, now I'm in a different headspace. But then also too, the fact alone that like it's not even real, like you don't even know what you're bringing into your house is disturbing, super super disturbing. So it's like I don't really think I would try again. But yeah, that's my story about Dora the wingless fairy. Silly of me, huh? But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
In the forest deep and green, fairies dance like shadows seen, playing tunes of love so sweet. Rhythm flows through busy feet. Heartbeats sing to melodies. Love frequency